Looking back at Thomas Bateman through modern eyes, it's easy to label his methods as crude or even unethical. After all, his life's work centered around excavating burial mounds and removing human remains and artifacts, often without a care on context. Preservation, we know, consider essential. By today's standards, some might call it grave robbing. But as with many figures from the past, the truth is more complex and far more fascinating. Bateman, who died in 1897, was one of the early pioneers of British archaeology. Born in Norton, Yorkshire, he spent most of his life exploring the burial mounds, barrows of northern England, particularly across Derbyshire Peak District. Long before archaeology was very formal science, Bateman was out in the hills, spade in hand, piecing together the story of prehistoric Britain. Today, you can still visit many of the sites he excavated, windswept barrows nestled in the rugged landscape of the peaks, now protected and better understood, thanks in part to his early investigations. His home, Lombardale Hall near Milton by Yorkshire, became a museum in its own right. Every room was filled with spoils of his digs, cabinets and drawers brimming with ancient flint tools, pottery shards, ornaments and bones. Friends, academics and curious visitors alike would be welcomed into and shown his collection with pride. For Bateman, these artifacts weren't just trophies, they were tangible links to forgotten lives, evidence of stories waiting to be pieced together. His hospitality and enthusiasm turned his home into a hub of historical conversation and shared curiosity. Armed with only simple tools like a spade and picks, and often assisted by teams of local labourers, Bateman undertook what were then considered systematic digs. Today, we would tread more carefully around burial sites, but in the 19th century, excavation was often the only means of inquiry. His methods, though intrusive, were part of a wider antiquarian movement, driven by curiosity and discovery rather than conservation. What made Bateman stand out wasn't just his relentless digging, but his dedication to documenting what he found. His publications, most notably 10 years of diggings in the county of York, catalogue hundreds of Barrow excavations and helped spark public and academic interest in Britain's deep past. While he lacked the scientific framework we rely on today, his detailed notes and preserved collections remain valuable to modern researchers. His legacy lives on in museum collections throughout the region, and his name is still closely associated with the early development of British archaeology. Visiting these barrows today, you can almost imagine Bateman standing beside the labourers, no book in hand, of course, unaware that future archaeologists would scrutinise his every move. Even in death, Bateman invites reflection. Though some sources long claimed he was buried in Norton, it's now clear he was laid to rest in Middleton by Yorkshire, Derbyshire. Close to Barrows he so passionately studied. His grave is distinctive, a solid stone marker surrounded by a low iron railing. Simple yet stern, as if guarding him from the kind of disturbance he himself so often inflicted. Perhaps in a quiet twist of poetic justice, his grave has remained untouched by time or trowel. To rob it would not only be ironic, but insult added to historical injury. In the end, Thomas Bateman was a man of his time, part antiquarian, part archaeologist, entirely captivated by the past. While his methods may no longer pass muster, there's no denying the role he played in shaping early archaeological thought. He may not have always preserved the past in the way we would now, but he made sure we knew it was worth digging into. So thank you for watching, and if you ever visit Bateman's grave at your grave, I would be really interested to hear your comments. So thank you for watching.